My, ¿cómo sé si de verdad ella me quiere? Who would have thought that such a simple phrase would impact my experience abroad so significantly? When my host brother, Fabricio, approached me one night and asked me this question about how to judge whether or not this girl he was interested in felt the same way, I was caught somewhat off guard. Yeah, sure, we had spoken in depth about other things since I had been in Costa Rica, but they were also more trivial. You know, things like sports or music. We had never touched on anything so serious, anything that required such a level of confidence and trust. While we were talking, he was nervous, which certainly was to be expected. He was only 13 and probably had never been in a comparable situation or felt this way about anyone before. Furthermore, I was the first male this family had ever hosted, so he probably never had a chance to discuss things like this with any guy, other than his father or maybe older cousins. I talked to him about it as I would with my own little brother back in the States, trying to help him figure out how this girl felt about him and whether or not the way she was acting meant she was also interested. After our conversation, he told me that he was going to talk to her tomorrow in school, and if he saw any of these things that we talked about, he was going to go for it and ask her out. After he left my room, something dawned on me that changed the rest of my experience in Costa Rica. These people I was living with, my host family, really was my family in Costa Rica. And I truly was, as my mom joked when people came over to the house and she introduced me, her American son. They cared about my well-being and happiness in the same way as my real family. Here was my host brother, asking me the same question I very well could have been asked by my brother back home. I soon discovered that I cared for my host family in the same way that they cared about me. I found myself helping out around the house more with chores and other things, texting my mom when I was heading out for the night or going to be coming back home late. I even began bickering with my little sister about silly things and helping her get away with things behind my parents' back, like not drinking her milk or eating her vegetables. And of course, I kept speaking with Fabricio about his new girlfriend, giving him advice when he needed it, or just making sure that everything was cool between them. I came to Costa Rica with one family, but I certainly left with another. Mi Familia Tica, my Costa Rican family.